You seem like someone who'd be really excited about Life is Strange.
I'm totally into it.
This game, if there's like the wheelhouse is right here of Elise, they put it right in.
They drop me right into the wheelhouse, and it's spinning, Brandon.
I think the curiosities that I would have, the hopes that I would have is like obviously like good story and maybe something kind of how I feel like about Quantum Break in The Order, where it's like how much of this game is the gameplay going to be interesting, or is it literally just the story? Or choosing to focus on like interesting female protagonists, like, you know, more youthful kind of Persona vibe where you're going through the school and like comparing supernatural things to normal everyday occurrences.
It's interesting that you asked that like story versus gameplay question, because I think that's what Don't Nod, the developer behind Life is Strange, learned from Remember Me. I think they realized, wow, we had a really great, compelling story with Remember Me, but we maybe didn't have the most interesting gameplay, so let's make an episodic game, because clearly, like, this is our strength to do this, and that's what Life is Strange, like, it is reliant on, you know, building a strong story, and I personally feel like there is potential for that.
So you checked it out recently?
Yeah, I played the first episode in full.
Cool. How long did that take?
It's about 90 minutes, give or take. It's funny because I kind of felt like I was thorough enough, but then once I reached the end, I realized, oh man, there were all these little mini kind of, like, not side quests, but little tasks I could have done if I wanted to go full completionist. Like how when you play a Telltale game and at the end, you know, it tells you, you know, 40% of people let so-and-so go or killed the dog or whatever. This Life is Strange does that too, but it also has little like Easter egg things like, you know, you chose not to sign this petition, or you didn't rescue that bird. Like,
is that stuff really hidden, or is it just like if you're just, you know, if you actually take an interest in exploring the environment instead of just getting through it, you'll naturally find that stuff?
I think it's meant to like drive an interest, because now after playing the first episode, I have this mentality of, oh, I really need to make sure I talk to everyone and explore everything more thoroughly, because there's that random like thing that I may not interact with, but could, you know, have a little kind of completionist aspect to it.
So what are you doing? Are you just walking around talking to people, or is there any kind of like combat in this game, or any kind of
so
what's the interaction
essentially
like?
you play as, I have my notes here as well. You play as Maxine Caulfield, and she's this like young 17, 18-year-old senior, and she has returned to the small town of Arcadia after living in Seattle for 5 years. She's going to like a prestigious school there. She's in a photography program. That's what she's really into. And so she's kind of back home, but it feels different. Her old former best friend is now kind of this like punk, like tough girl, and they reunite, and she learns that, you know, her friend has been dealing with the death of her father and the absence of a friend of hers that she had made, who is this like really, really beautiful girl named, just check her name, named Rachel, who disappeared and nobody knows where she's gone. And the townspeople kind of just feel like maybe she just ran away, but you sort of get the feeling like there's more to it than that. So basically the gameplay is interacting with people, and you are making those like dialogue decisions, like any Telltale game where, you know, you have your three selections.
It seems like Telltale naturally comes up a lot in this conversation.
It unfortunately, well,
I have like 3 more Telltale related questions.
Well, Don't Nod knows that too. They have specifically said like, Telltale games are an inspiration for us making this, and we know that's what people like, and they compare themselves to like Telltale, and they've also kind of acknowledged this drive to more HBO-esque content, like this episodic thing. They think that that's how our generation likes to consume media now, so like why not make it in a game? But yeah, so a major component of the game as you are playing as Maxfield, I combined the words Maxine and Caulfield because I'm nervous. And
Hello again, Maxfield. I was going to say, was it Maxine Caulfield?
Maxine Caulfield.
Sounds like a romance novelist from like the 70s.
Well, she goes by Max, but I was like, Caulfield. I thought to myself, I wonder if that's a Catcher in the Rye reference. And then I went into her dorm room and I saw a poster stylized like in the iconic cover of Catcher in the Rye, but it said like bull in the in this, and I was like, oh, I guess there are a lot of those little nuanced references throughout the whole game, and and I've totally backtracked to from where I was. But time travel.
So in your 90 minutes you spent with the game, did you goof around like that a lot? Did you like go around and explore, or did you feel kind of rushed because you're like, I have an appointment, I need to get through this? Did they really just give you time?
No, you can take as much time as you want. And that leads me to time travel.
Nice.
Like, you literally can take as much time as you want, because time travel is the major, aside from just interacting and talking to people and making those dialogue choices, time travel is the major like game mechanic in how you play this. And I think that's so cool because, you know, when you play games like Telltale or like Dark Dreams Don't Die.
Right.
That just happened. You make those dialogue decisions and then something happens and you think, oh God, that was a bad move. But in this game, you can rewind and you can re-choose.
As much as you want?
Yeah, to a degree.
How does that work between episodes? So you can rewind within the episode, but you can't once they do the episode jump.
So if we're having a conversation and I say something and then you're like, wow, what a jerk thing to say, Max, then I can say, oh shoot, like let me rewind that and do that again. Or, you know, if certain events happen, and you as Maxine, who have this time travel ability, you can rewind the event and then change the course of events. So, for example, there's a scene where you're in a bathroom and you see your friend being accosted by some guy, and then he shoots her, and you're like, oh shit, like, what do I do? You rewind it, and then you try to pull the fire alarm, but it's enclosed in a glass case, and you think, oh, I need to break the glass open. So you pick up a wrench that is under, or a pipe that's under a cart, but then that's still not enough time for you to break open that glass case before she's shot. So an element of the time travel is that you retain any objects that you hold or you pull into your inventory. So I can pick up that wrench and then rewind again, giving myself enough time to break open the glass case and pull the fire alarm and save her from being shot. So I think it's a really interesting component to add to these kind of adventure games that are seemingly just point and click, talk to people, make a couple choices, because whether you choose to rewind something and change it really does like have an impact on future choices. And you might not see that in the first episode, but we saw a couple preview scenes from the second episode, which I can't talk about, but they did demonstrate to us how your choices will.
Okay, yeah, that was actually going to be my
future.
final Telltale related
really?
question. Is like how much of that, persistence is there?
Yeah, I also feel like the time travel component. I was wondering if it would feel wedged in, like we just wanted this cool time travel mechanic, so we threw it in the game. But it does fit perfectly. The whole game has this really nostalgic feel to it. There are characters that are still trapped in their past, and Maxine, she has like an old Instamatic camera. Like there is all this feeling about time, and this sleepy little town that seems like it's caught in time, and it's in autumn, and it just works. Like I just felt like this makes perfect sense that this would be part of this game.
So it works. Is that the official?
At least once. It
sentence.
Works.
But when are we getting this? Are you pumped? You gonna play it again?
Yeah, Huber and I are actually doing a full playthrough when it comes out this Friday, January 30th. And it's coming on PC, Xbox One and 360, PS4, and PS3. And
we'll probably get all of them this year, all the episodes?
Yeah. So they also have a really, really awesome rollout plan. 6 weeks between episodes. And right now they've said they're still on schedule to hit those marks. So.
Sweet. Well, I'm into the story. When you were kind of filling me in on some of the characters in the beginning, like it didn't feel like we were talking about a game. It was like, oh yeah, I saw a trailer for that movie, basically, like that cool animated film.
The way
I remember like her friend and all, the setups and stuff. So like, I'm curious about the story more than anything.
The way I've been selling it, I saw Boyhood like a week ago, and it feels like girlhood to me. Like being a teenager and you get bullied and you don't know like what you want to do or like who you are. That's how this game.
If Boyhood had time travel in it, I would have actually liked it.
You could have seen it.
But we can leave it at that point. Thank you, Elise. I can't wait to hear more.
No problem.
I know I'm not dreaming this.
As you all know, the
it's
photo
real.
portrait has been popular
I can
since
tell.
the early 1800s. Your generation.
So I
was
can
the
go
first
back
to
in
use
time.
images for selfie expression.
What if that girl isn't dead
I
yet?
couldn't resist. The point
Can I
remains
save
that
her?
the portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art and photography.